Oh! Oh! Gone. Beast. What's up, LTVers? Remington Barkley here with Lucky Tackle Box. Today I bring you some of my favorite drop shotting techniques with the Mismo Mud Skipper. Look at that. Big smallmouth. First, rigging. There are so many different adjustments and customizations that you can do while rigging a drop shot. First, let's talk about your typical drop shot setup. I like to use a medium rod near 7 feet in length that has a slower tip. Normally, I spool it with 10-pound braid tied to a double uni knot of 6 to 8 pound fluorocarbon. And on the fluorocarbon leader, I use a Palomar knot tied to a drop shot hook, leaving a long enough tag line attached to about 10 inches down a tungsten drop shot weight. Let's talk a little more about the length between the hook and the drop shot weight. When I'm fishing harder bottom with small amounts of cover and very little wind or very little current, I use a drop shot that is 10 inches or less. But when I'm fishing taller vegetation, big boulders, or in a situation where there is strong current or lots of wind, I can use a drop shot up to 3 feet in length. You're simply trying to place your drop shot rig in the same position where the bait fish are that your bass are trying to eat. Onto working your drop shot rig. Most people I've watched fishing a drop shot rig extremely overwork the bait. So first, let me begin by recommending to slow down. Your biggest drop shot fish will be caught when you are barely moving the bait. When drop shot fishing, I typically pitch out my rig and let it free fall until it reaches the bottom. And I take up the slack line after it reaches the bottom, and all I do is I try my hardest not to move the sinker off of the bottom. And then when I'm trying to move the bait, instead of moving the rod tip, I do a side-to-side shake with my reel. Once I've done my nervous twitch and waited for a moment, now I move my rod tip down 3 or 4 inches, allowing my bait to fall. Hold this position for a moment and then gently return your rod back to its original position. At any time during this intense finesse presentation, you may get a bite. For those that it takes me a very specific retrieval to catch big bass consistently with the drop shot rig, I highly recommend you give this retrieve a try. Location. You can drop shot successfully almost anywhere, but I'm going to stick with my favorite location. I love deep water drop shot fishing, around structure at the end of long underwater points in 15 to 50 foot of water. Normally, when I find these points with structure, I also find schools of bait. Vary your leader length to match the location of the bait. You will have some great days on the water. Again, I'm Remington Barkley. Good luck with your drop shot fishing. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel below.